Hi guys, thanks for tuning in to another episode of Nuggets News. Today we've got some special guests from a great project called Liven, Australian based, and we welcome co-founders Will and David. So how you going, guys?
Good, thanks. Good, thanks, Alex.
Now tell us about Liven. It's a reward sort of spending platform. You're going for that true cryptocurrency angle. You've already got a working product and people buying their lunch with this in Melbourne. So I'm really looking forward to this discussion today. But what is Liven and how did you guys get into this?
Um, I'm gonna. There's a bit of a glitch there, but I'm gonna assume that what's Live all about. Liven is a mobile payment and rewards platform. So the inception of the idea was that there was a disjointment between the user journey was so disjointed, discovery to the payment, then to the rewards, and what you do with the rewards. This is an attempt to try to bring everything together in otherwise very fragmented society for the users to just do once, tap once, or do everything in one platform. So Liven allows you to find the places that you want to go, and you can then pay with the phone for your meal. You will earn the cryptocurrency by doing so, and you can then spend it back into the system. So it is a end-to-end users, discovery, payment, and loyalty all in one. It is, and we are using this power of blockchain and cryptocurrency to enhance the experience further.
Yeah, so you guys have done a number of things to make it easier for someone to use rather than have to sign up to an exchange, have an address, all that sort of thing. One of the things that I liked was the handles. So you're sending payment to other people's usernames, which a lot of projects are still working on that. They haven't got there yet. So what's next for you guys? Is it all about onboarding those users or partnering with merchants?
Yeah, so I think we always focused on business itself. I think we've had a fair share of projects with promising ideas last year and not failing to deliver because of the business challenges. I think many projects or many people underestimate the challenges of running a business. After all, blockchain, cryptocurrency, technology, internet, these are all our end user life better. So we put our consumer hat and making sure that we focus on getting more users, making things easier for users, consumers, making things much easier to adopt for the merchants. Very difficult because if merchants don't adopt, there's no way that the users will be able to utilize that. And vice versa, if the users don't adopt, then the merchants will not accept that particular platform. So I mean, this catch-22 challenge has always been around in the startup world, but it seems like in the blockchain world, people are beginning to realize that, oh shit, that's actually a problem. This is a problem that we've known since 5 years ago. So for us, it's all about making sure that we have the nice balance of merchants, users, and constantly finding ways to innovative ways to find more network of merchants using our channel partners, using our you as the referral loop, bounty programs, basically bringing all those referral bounties. That is quite a norm in this ICO space to the mainstream. The actual business itself should be embracing that kind of virality to grow the user base, not for the sake of having more Telegram followers, but actually having users who are using the app, businesses that are actually participating in these bounty programs to have more people spending cryptocurrency at their venues. So this is going to be our focus to expand our current user base. We're sitting currently at about 350,000 users. I mean, ideally, we would like to get to 1 million users by next year. And in terms of the merchants, we would like to get to 20,000 or more, because that will just make the value prop for the whole network and ecosystem just be that much more enticing.
Now, you're based in Melbourne, but when you say those numbers, are they Australian or are you guys global? Are you starting off a few different places around the world?
That is for now Australian. So we're live in Melbourne and Sydney, and we are looking at places like Gold Coast, Brisbane, possibly Perth and Adelaide. but we are making our headway into the European UK next year, and the reason for that is, as you probably have seen, Australia is a very unique place for a tech startups to experiment. It is a place where a lot of people have a lot of disposable income. People actually are very charitable. I'm not sure if you know about our platform. We actually have a component where every time you earn a reward, you are given an option to donate part of your rewards to a charity. So a country that comes number, which is Australia, is a very much of an ideal place for companies like ours to experiment. The whole concept before scaling that out to the globally, and the size of experiment is we're now seeing that okay, we've got to a stage where we feel that we've polished a lot of the business use cases, the UI, UX, the underlying fundamental technology layers. That's all looking good. Now, time to look into expansion.
Yeah, so you guys have raised already 10 mil, which was your soft cap, but you've got the public sale coming up, I think you were saying. So what's next for you guys with that next round of funds? And I know we're talking in the pre-interview about getting more merchants through their current point of sale terminals. It's just that software upgrade for a lot of them. So is that next virality that you want to see everyone across Australia using this?
Most of it's a creating global digital economy is the main purpose. There is inherently a limitation as to how much fast you can scale when you are dealing with merchants one by one, giving devices to each venue. That is not a scalable method of any business. So we'll be investing a lot of these funds into R&D, creating our own payment rail, which does not rely on the traditional banking payment rail that is Visa, MasterCard, American Express. Now, these guys are holding the reins of the connection with the banks, connection with the EFTPOS machines. They basically control everything. It's a archaic, traditional payment system. It works, and it is the only one that is dominant right now. But what we are seeing is that players like us, we're able to build a middle layer, an alternate payment rail, where if we continuously invest other projects, other cryptocurrencies, other players, other projects that don't necessarily have this sort of scale can participate in this ecosystem that we are building. Again, I think the difference between us and other protocol level projects is that we actually have working business model. We have users, we have merchants who we can quickly onboard onto this rail as we expand, rather than create this fantastic protocol for the next 5 years and let's hope that somebody will start using it, and you run out of money and then you just disappear like 99% of other projects. So
and the reward system is pretty powerful for that. So I was reading in the white paper that if I buy $10 of lunch, I might get up to 30% of that sort of back in the Liven or Liven rewards token.
Yes, certainly. So anytime anyone makes a transaction through the Liven network, they're earning between 5 up to 30 or even 40% of their total bill back as the LVN credit on their account that they can then either donate to a charity, as we mentioned, if they wish, or spend within the network in future transactions.
Fantastic. So guys, anything else you want everyone to know? I'll put all the links in the description below. I'm sure you're going to be adding more features going forward, and we'll have you guys back on the channel. But any final messages for everyone watching at home?
I think what I'd like people to, the audience of this video to take away from this is that there will be, crypto is not all scary. It's not. Think of it as the internet, in 1994 or whichever year. I might have quoted that the wrong year, but when it first starts, very little, percentage of people understand the fundamental technology underneath. But what's important to realize now is that 99% of people who are using this amazing technology that is internet don't actually know how it works. So we are moving towards that. And we are the pioneers, Liven as our company, we are the pioneers in bridging that gap between the hardcore protocol technology driven projects to more consumer facing, bringing this amazing technology to in a shape or form that is easily understandable and easily adoptable by people, so that there is not, I mean, it is, technology level is disruptive, but people need to realize that this is great technology. All those volatilities up and down that's happening in the crypto space, that's this, literally we are seeing volatility moving here like that. We have a potential to to the much bigger things. So I think have faith in that. Hodlers unite. I don't know if that's a saying, but
And David, any final thoughts of people at home?
Yeah, just to build on what William said, our ethos, our entire ethos, not just around the ICO, but around our entire company is always consumer facing, but it's also merchant facing as well. As we said earlier, to truly achieve mass adoption, you need both sides. The chicken and the egg both have to come together, in order to make that possible, which is what we're trying to do by making it an experience that's great for both the user.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for joining us today, guys. We'll talk again in the future, and all the best.
Thank you, Alex. Thanks for having us.